You may have found this video because you went out searching for some answers about 23andMe's bankruptcy filing. And just like you, I had questions. And like many of you, I'm in a lot of genealogy groups, and I've seen some posts in those groups. People sharing the article, some people saying delete now, you know, some people kind of panicking, other people asking questions on what do we do next? Should we delete everything now? What's going on? So some folks are absolutely saying delete your test immediately. I understand their concern. I understand where they're coming from. That official news that they're filing for bankruptcy, it stirred up a lot of concern. However, I'm kind of taking a beat. Just like I wasn't part of the very first wave of people testing at 23andMe or Ancestry for that matter, I'm not going to be one of the very first ones to just rush and delete my test that I manage on either site. So I've kind of taken a beat. I'm reaching out to folks that I look up to in the genetic genealogy community just to hear what they're thinking, what they suggest. And right now, hearing a lot of, well, let's wait, let's give it time. We're just going to kind of wait and see. And we're all just trying to make the best decisions we can with the information that we currently have. So, as I choose to do in most things, I'm just being mindful. I'm going to, follow what's happening and I'm just going to prepare. And so I'm putting this video together today so I can help everybody else, do the same as well. I tested back in 2013, and so I've had a lot of time to go through and download my data. And I have. I downloaded much of my data a long time ago. I've got things backed up, I've got it uploaded to other platforms, and I've stored it in multiple secure locations. But with the news about 23andMe and also the fact that spring just began, this feels a little like the perfect time for a little DNA spring cleaning. So this is just another reminder to me. It's just another reminder for everybody else to do a fresh save of everything, especially for, tests that we manage for others. One of my cousins today told me that they don't plan on removing the test from 23andMe because there are people who aren't even with us anymore. And it's data that they still want to be able to see those matches for. And that's important. So I'm here to kind of help friends and family do the same, get things backed up. So no matter what happens, we will all have that DNA data that we've been working with, data that's important to us. So to those of you who've already decided to delete your test, that's just fine. That's your call. One of the best things about this process has always been the fact that we each get to decide. We get to decide whether to test, where to test, whether to upload to other sites, whether to respond to matches or even stay private. And yes, we get to decide whether or not to delete our tests. It's about choice. So, whatever your choice may be, just take a breath, consider all your options, and make your decision whenever you're ready. Now, if you're in a wait and see phase like I am and like others are, you may as well get things prepared and downloaded now. So I put together a checklist for myself, but I'm sharing it so you can also use it to make sure that you've downloaded all the key data and resources tied to your 23andMe tests. So there's a checklist and then there's also a steps document. The steps document will point you pretty much to everything you need. The checklist was just to help you make sure that you've gotten it all downloaded. So even if you're brand new to downloading and backing it up and you've never done it before, you'll at least have a place to start and know what you're looking to download. So you're going to want to look for items like your ancestry reports, your maternal and paternal haplogroups if you do have a paternal haplogroup listed on 23andMe, the downloadable version of your DNA book, which you can get via PDF file. Don't be dismayed when you go on that page and it shows you not available. Just ignore where it says not available. Go ahead and click generate book and download that PDF file. You'll want to download the raw DNA file. And then of course, you're going to want to download your DNA matches because that's one of the main reasons why most of us are testing is to see those matches. So we'll want to preserve that data where we can as well. So there are going to be a couple ways that you can do that. One is within the setting and within the profile data where you'll be able to select and download a DNA relatives annotations file. It may not contain your full match list, so there's also a link to a video that will walk you through a process that will allow you to download your matches into a CSV file in a way that does not violate the terms and conditions of the site. So look for those links as well. So I do have a primary document that I've labeled the links and resources related to the 23andMe announcement. In that document, you're going to find a link to 23andMe's official statements, as well as those help pages that will kind of show you, where to go on the site to get some different things to download. There's, of course, that link to that video that's showing you a download tutorial that does not violate the terms and services. There's also some links to some helpful perspectives that I found helpful um, from others within the genetic genealogy community, as well as some links to some news articles so you can kind of, read what's going on with 23andMe if you haven't heard. I'm not going to spend time in this video walking through the steps of how to download things because it would just take me too long. I have to blur things out because there's other names in there and other details that I can't display on the video. But the checklist and the other documents should be able to guide you on most everything else that you need. I did want to make a quick note though, that if you do manage multiple tests like I do, I definitely suggest saving the individual test taker's files in a file folder that is named for that individual or named with their initials. Don't want to put their full name on that file. You can name it with a kit number, however you want to name it, but just make sure that you do an individual file folder for each person so you don't get their files mixed up. Now, if you've already done all this in the past, great, but maybe it's time to kind of just double check that you have the most recent versions of everything saved. And if you haven't, now is a good time for some DNA spring cleaning. Then once you've downloaded everything, of course, make sure you back it up, whether it's cloud storage, a hard drive, external backup, whatever works best for you. Above all, now's not the time to panic. Just take your time. I don't think it's going to be gone overnight, so we don't need to rush. Just decide when you're ready and start doing some DNA spring cleaning. And just make sure you stay on top of everything. Stay on top of the news articles and everything as well so that you're not rushing at the end to get things downloaded if you need to. For those of you who've been on it and have already taken some steps or even have some other helpful tips that I haven't covered, feel free to drop them in the comments as that might help someone else who may need them. May even help me. So just remember as well, we all came into this work for different reasons. Wherever you are in the process, I hope that this video helps you stay informed. I hope it helps you stay organized, and I hope it helps you stay empowered to make the choices right for you. I do want to thank everyone for listening. I hope this was helpful as you think through your next steps with 23andMe. And so, whether you came to the video just to find out what's going on, whether you're here for tips, or whether you're here for family stories, or just figuring out how to manage the DNA data, I'm glad that you're here. Just remember, take your time, trust your process. Don't forget to support one another, no matter what choice the other makes, whether to keep the files on the site, whether to take them down. The choice is theirs. I hope you found all of this helpful. Feel free to share it with someone who might need a little guidance on what to do right now. Thank you, everyone.